So hi guys, today I had a really nice photo shoot with a girl called Millie, absolutely lovely, and it was her first ever photo shoot, and as you can see it turned out rather well. Um, as for anybody, I mean even myself, when you meet someone for the first time and you go out and do a photo shoot, always a little bit nervous, and you have a bit of fun trying to lighten the mood and try and keep people laughing, smiling, things like that, and that's part of your job as a photographer. And Millie, she, even though we started off, she was joking and having a bit of fun, she soon settled down, and we really started getting some really good shots, even though she didn't think we would at the beginning. And I'm really pleased that I actually was able to give her some photos that she really loves. So here are the sort of the best of the best, and a couple of funny ones like this. um, as the wave was going to come up and splash her, she only got her feet wet slightly, which is a shame, but still added to the shots. Um, as you see here, this is one of my favourites, and all shot with the Sony A7r3 and the Sigma 135 f1.8. This one's wide open at f1.8, and just convert to black and white. Notice the horizon is lovely and level. That's one of the biggest things that I always try and make sure is correct, especially in a portrait shot, especially with any water in it, unless you're going through each corner. This shot here, Millie just naturally turned around because there was a big splash. This one here, I tried to keep her from turning around and just keep focused on what she was looking at across the other side of the beach there. So both images worked really nicely, and we just had to stand there or sit there for about 5 minutes to try and get the right shot. This shot here I quite like, just random old sort of groins there, big bits of wood, bolts and things like that really add to the shot, and then the sea behind, and just a natural shot of her sat there just in the sun, in black and white and colour. Works really nicely. I think black and white's probably slightly better due to the tones and everything, but it's still a lovely shot in colour there. As you can see, it's just a little bit industrial, a little bit sort of this shot here really nice, simple shot, just playing with the hair sort of thing, sorting the hair out in the wind, and works really nicely. And a little bit of the blue in the sea there. Unfortunately, the sand has been swirled up in the foreground, so the sea sort of went a bit of brown colour. Typical England, really. Pet Level Beach in East Sussex. You've got all these old groins that have obviously they're not used anymore, but they've become a sort of an art piece. So they photograph really nicely, and put a model in the middle, and it works really nicely. So even backed out as far as I could go away really, and still get her in shot, but then even cropping in it still works, and just angles and bits of wood and stuff like that really add a shot. Simple strong pose here, hands on hips. The biggest thing was trying to stop her laughing or talking. That was the good fun bit really, but still we got a good shot there. And those rocks were really slippery and the tide was coming in, so we had to work really quite quickly. This shot I really liked just because the wind swept her hair up in the air, and just the concentration look on her face, because she was lifting her body weight off the ground onto the with using the groins, so obviously quite hard to do because it wasn't very level. This shot here I really love, just utilising it shows how big the wood is, just all sort of rough and ready with bits of moss and stuff growing all over it, or seaweed. Works really well. Black and white again. Black and white I find the grain of the wood, textures of like the jeans and things like that, and hair and eyes and things like that all come out really well. This shot is one of my favourites, just sitting in a country lane. Beautiful sunlight coming through, light reflecting onto her face, and just works really well. And even in colour it worked really nicely, the skin tones and everything, and the greens behind. And as you wouldn't believe it's turning into autumn now, so like a beautiful summer's day it was, 25 degrees Celsius. In fact we found it too hot, but it was worked really nicely. We were so lucky. It was a little bit of a breeze, which was quite good for blowing hair around and things, but then her hair's quite light, so a couple of the shots were hair in the face and things like that. Really love this shot. As you know, as a photographer, you're trying to portray someone's personality into the photos, as well as obviously making them look good, and trying to get someone to smile naturally, to give them, a look like this. I'm trying to make her laugh, but she was trying not to laugh at the same time. So it really added that sort of cute look, which worked really nicely. That's probably my favourite shot of the day, that one. And it's just a case of pushing people to past their boundary, sort of their safe boundaries, such, and getting them to do new things. Anything from a photo shoot that you've never done before to skydiving, whatever. There's all these different things that people have never done before. And with Millie, she did really, really well, and really pleased. And it's one of the shots I really like as well, just where the wind swept up the hair slightly, and just simple shots sat on a wall, and the light was beautiful, and it just worked really, really nicely. All these shots have hardly been edited. They've literally just been processed through Photoshop, adjusted the levels, so brightness, clarity, contrast and stuff like that. Worked really, really well. The moody look, it was this one's one of her favourites, and it works really nicely. The bokeh in the background, all the little circles of out of focus light and the leaves and things, works really nicely, and works really well. So really pleased she liked that one. This shot here actually only really worked well in black and white. The sky was so blue and vivid, it kind of distracted from the image. It was some things just work better in black and white or in colour, so I decided black dress, really punchy. This shot here, this amazing tree, it had fallen down. It's kind of like a big hand with fingers, or a spider kind of body, and Millie sat in the sort of middle of it, worked really nicely. And by the time I stopped her sort of laughing a little bit, we got some of these shots. So I'm actually working backwards here, so we're going from the last shots back to the sort of beginning of the photo shoot, so you can see how we were changing, or evolving. This shot here is basically part of the spidery legs or the fingers or whatever. She said she loves trees, so I decided to just morph her half into a tree and half not. I thought it works quite well, just for a bit of fun, and just the way her hair and everything flowed. Another shot here, just simple shots. There's not, they're not, with someone for their first ever photo shoot, you don't want to push them too hard, otherwise they're going to break and they're literally going to not enjoy themselves. The most important thing is for her to have fun, have a laugh, and that's when people relax and start enjoying it. And at the end, she was really pleased with them, and she really just said that she really enjoyed the day. So that was the most important thing. Simple shot again, just leaning against a tree, kind of a thinking pose. It was quite funny because where I was actually kneeling down was a wasp's nest. I was quite lucky I didn't get stung, because there was loads of them all over the place, and I didn't actually notice until I stood back up that actually I was surrounded by them. Another shot here, just sat on the fence, that's where the country lane where she sat down. Just a simple shot under the trees. Really, really nice light. It was quite bright. If you're out in the sunshine, really, really quite harsh because the sun was so bright. But actually, once we were under the trees where it was diffused nicely, it was really, really good. And really pleased. There's another simple shot here, just the thinking pose. So back to her favourite. So it was this one she first put her eyes on. She said, "Oh my god, that's my favourite." Really, just classic shot. Really nice. Thinking pose, I guess. And she looks lovely. The next shot was the one where she is sat on the gate. That's, I think, is her favourite shot of the day. Which again, really nice photo. And it's almost just a natural look, really. I really like it. The way the crosses and everything in the gateway sort of push into the shot. Also the trees and everything in the background, and obviously her sat on there on the gate, which looks really, really cool. Like I say, hardly edited at all. Just the lighting, a little bit of adjustments, shadows here or there, and just a little tweak here or there. Nothing major. All these photos were 30 seconds. Bit of processing. That's it. Obviously, conversion to black and white if need be. My favourite two shots are this one and the other one sat in the lane. But black and white, I think, was really nice. Kind of added a really classic, because the way the dress she was wearing was quite glamorous, and I think a black and white shot in a black dress always looks quite cool. And because black dress and the tarmac was really, really being hit hard by the sunshine, it really lit up, and a bit of reflection back into her, so you can see her face and everything clearly. And this shot I really love. This is kind of like a personality shot, and she just kind of looks happy. It's kind of cutie kind of shot, and just simple looking down the lane. And I say the lens wide open at f1.8, and that was it really. So anyway, guys, that's just the shoot in a quick nutshell, really. If you want to see more, just click the subscribe button and click the notification bell, and I shall see you soon.